Neglecting the right thing at the right time will knock your destiny and will ruin your destiny forever. Complaining instead of facing will ruin your destiny forever. Hello, family. Welcome back to my channel. Gracefully are they. I want to welcome you today into another new, beautiful segment with my very self. Gracefully are they is a place we motivate you, we empower you to see things in a positive dimension, and as well, we bring an eye opening. We make you to believe that no matter how great your yesterday was, it can never be better than today, because today is always a privilege to pick back your pieces of yesterday and make it a brand new one. So today we're going to be talking about the habits that can destroy or ruin your destiny. We're going to be dropping some tips on some habits that can destroy your destiny. Before we go into our talks today, I want to say a big thank you to all our returning subscribers. Thank you for your comment, your like, your share, taking our time to watch our videos. I want to say may God bless you all in the name of Jesus. And remember, no matter where you are today, never you ever believe is the end or the finishing line to your destiny. No matter how great, no matter how big, no matter how giant or small, the place you're operating right now is not the end of your destination. You just keep going, going, going until you get to a place that you will look back and you will be amazed that you are content at where you want to be. So let's just dive into our talks today. We're going to be dropping some tips, habits that can destroy your destiny. Number one habit that can ruin your destiny, that can destroy your destiny forever, is neglecting your responsibility as an individual, as a young man, as a young woman, as a family, as a parent. The number one reason, the number one habit that can destroy your destiny, that can ruin your life without you knowing, but you might end up knowing when it's late. That's the more reason why I'm dropping these tips that will help you, is an eye-opening, is neglecting your responsibility. Everyone have their own responsibility. As a young man, as a young woman, as parents, whosoever. Whenever you try to neglect your responsibility, trying to procrastinate your responsibility, trying to do the wrong thing at the right time, you are destroying your destiny. You are knocking your destiny to the rock. Whatsoever you need to do daily, whatsoever you need to feast monthly, get it done. Anything that you know is your responsibility as an individual, when you fail to do it the right thing, you are destroying your destiny. And you cannot hold anybody accountable for destroying your destiny. That is number one key that a lot of us are doing without taking note of. We are good at procrastinating the right thing to the wrong time. Instead of facing the right thing at the right time, getting it done no matter what it takes to get it done at the right time, we love procrastinating. Anything you do procrastinating, anything you ought to do in 1 hour time, and you postpone it to the next 5 hours, you may not get it done. Do you know why? Because something else might come up, or you might have something fixed at that 5 hours time. That is the more reason why whatsoever is your responsibility, don't let anything distract you of doing your things at the right time. Not even your own thoughts. You should allow it to distract you of facing your life at the very right time. Time happens to everyone the same time. Depends on what you want to do. When you fail from your responsibility, when you fail to do the right thing at the right time, when you look at the time the next 2 hours, it's never the same. A lot of people have failed. A lot of parents, we young ones coming up, we begin to point fingers to our parents. We know the errors of our parents. We saw the way our parents messed up. That is why a lot of us end up in Europe. Because our parents failed their responsibility to fix it at the right time. Likewise to you and I watching me today, what are the things you want to do? What are your responsibility that you are ignoring, trying to transfer it to someone else, or trying to blame people for the things you have the capacity, you have the strength, you have the idea to do at the right time? There is nobody you can owe for you failing in your own destiny. Your destiny is your life. Your future is your life. So whatever you want to be or do in this world, don't even allow your thoughts to stop you for doing the right thing at the right time. That is the number one habit that destroys a lot of destiny. I've seen a lot of family when we are growing up, when we are younger, that we are so doing well. All of a sudden, when the father or the mother begin to fail their responsibility, you see the children begin to live their own life, begin to do their own things. Everything become messed up. You, that young man, you, that young woman, looking at me, money is not everything. You must take a time to think about the way you want to structure your life, the way you want your life to be. Sometimes everything might not come the way you want them to be, but in the process of time, get whatsoever you want to do, get it done at the right time. Don't allow procrastination to take the space of doing the right thing at the right time. That is number one tip, number one habit that can destroy our destiny. Procrastinating, ignoring our responsibility, looking for excuses not to do the things that we ought to do ourselves. Like I said, a lot of parents messed up. A lot of young ones today, they are already in the same dish today. A lot of people are in the same mess today, procrastinating their responsibility, trying to ignore the right thing at the right time. They will find out at the time they want to try to fix it is even bigger than them. They cannot be able to fix it. They cannot be able to do it the way they wanted it to be done. That is the one thing I want you to understand. Habits that can ruin your destiny. Neglecting your responsibility at the right time, it can destroy your destiny. It can ruin your future. It can ruin your family. It can ruin everything about you. That's number one. Never you neglect your responsibility. Never you procrastinate whatsoever you have set out to do in your life. Don't allow nobody, your thoughts, your imagination, to stop you to do the things you want to do at the right time. Because when you have the capacity, you have the brain, you have the strength to do whatsoever you have set out to do, get it done. That's number one. Number two, complaining. Complaining can ruin your destiny. A lot of us, instead of doing things, instead of fixing the problem, we end up complaining from January to December. We end up looking for excuses, looking for the negative errors, looking for the things, talk, complaining, looking for people that will look for to complain with us instead of fixing the problem, instead of trying to fix your life, instead of getting your destiny right. We begin to complain, we begin to talk, we begin to look for who we are looking for a look alike so that we can complain together, so that we can talk the negative things together, so that we can laugh and waste our time instead of fixing our problem, instead of dealing with the things we ought to do. Every man, every woman have excess of things to do with their life. If you want to tell me you don't have anything to do with your life, you are lying. Because each day there are things, billions of positive things you have in your mind to do, you have in your life to fix. Instead of fixing those things, instead of looking for people that will help you to fix your life or do the right thing, you look for your look-alike, complain, gossip, talk, bringing down people, doing the things you ought not to do. It's we only end up ruining your destiny. Complaining, things you ought not to be doing. You are complaining instead of fixing the problem, instead of trying to do something positive. You end up looking for gossipers. You end up looking for your look-alike that you can talk together negativities. You can add together negativities. And at the end of the day, you end up wasting your time, your life. Who to blame? Nobody. And the last one that I'm going to be deliberating about today, lack of self-control. Lack of self-control has ruined a lot of destiny. Lack of self-control is one of the biggest habits that can reduce you to nothing. Before I emphasize of lack of self-control, I want to share just a little story I heard about. A young woman married to a man. She had 2 daughters. Because of her lack of self-control, she started sleeping around, and without she knowing, she got pregnant, a married woman, and end up giving birth to a son. Not knowing the son is not for the husband. But after 10 years, the whole thing went everywhere. Tell me, can you paint the face of the child to become the father? No. Lack of self-control. What are the things you do without thinking? It can ruin your destiny. Every man, every woman must learn to have self-control, because when you don't have self-control, you can do anything. You can be anywhere. You can just go anywhere you want to go. You can add whatever you want to add. You can talk without even thinking. You can misbehave at any given time. Why? Because you lack self-control. And these are the few habits that I want to be dropping here today that can ruin your destiny. Neglecting your responsibility, number 1, it can destroy your destiny forever. Number 2, complaining, looking for your look-alike to talk, negativity, complain about the things you ought not to complain about. Instead of fixing it, you complain about it. It's not done. All you need to do is to fix it instead of complaining. And number 3, the last one, that is a broad one, but I will just drop it here. Lack of self-control can ruin your destiny. You might think you're doing it without nobody saying you. You can just do whatever you want to do, live a careless life, but there will be a day that you will find that the life you've lived, the things you've done that you ought not to do, when the result begin to play out, you will be wondering, how did I get myself in this place? Do you know how you got yourself there? Because lack of self-control. Lack of self-control make a woman to mess themselves. Lack of self-control make a young woman begin to sleep with a married man. Lack of self-control make you to do the things you ought not to be doing. I want to drop it here. Habits that can destroy your destiny. I want you to think about it. Neglecting your responsibility. It can ruin you forever. Complaining instead of fixing it will ruin your destiny forever. Lack of self-control. That's the broad one, but I don't want to analyze too much. When you love self-control, you can mess up at any given time. Yeah, you can do the things you think you can do because you lack this thing called self-control. As an adult, as a young growing woman, as a young growing man, you must learn to have self-control. You must learn to know when to call it a spade. You must learn to know when to do the things, when to speak, when to act, when to do anything you want to do. Because someday you become a parent. Like I said lastly, most of our parents failed because They lack self-control. They could not do the things they ought to do at the right time. And at the end of the day, they messed up. And now there's nothing they can do to change back the end of time. So you, my beloved brothers and sisters, I want you to think about these tips I have dropped today. Don't forget, never you ignore your responsibility. Nobody is going to face it for you. Looking for your look-alike complainers, it can only ruin your destiny. It can never add to your destiny. And lastly, lack of self-control will ruin you forever and you become nothing. I love you. If you get something from our talk today, I want you to give us a thumbs up, like our video, share it with your friends, just to encourage someone out there. They should never ignore their responsibility. They should stop complaining and they should learn to control themselves. When you can put these three things together, there is no way your destiny can be ruined. I love you. I will see you again on my next video. Gracefully Ade. I love you. Bye.